And today's top trender, postmark.
Viper Farm.
I'm concerned about the post office.
People have trusted the United States Postal Service for 2 centuries.
They're losing tens of billions of dollars each year.
Well, Congressman Issa wants to end the Postal Service as we know it. Darrell Issa's military pension plan targets the post office.
The new budget carries $63 billion in savings with it, but $6 billion of that is coming out of the pockets of vets.
Members of Congress who have vowed to repeal this provision.
Republicans like Congressman Darrell Issa have been trying to take down the Postal Service for a long time.
The need to right-size the post office.
Protected by Viper.
Joining me now is Congressman Dan Kildee of Michigan, who is a member of the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. I appreciate your time. Now, I understand that you support repealing the cuts to military benefits, but you don't think ICE's plan to end Saturday Postal Service is the way to do it. How would you get there? And I'd like your take on how would you get there, and how important is it, as you see it, to make sure that they hold on to Saturday delivery?
Well, first of all, how we get there, there's a bill that my colleague, Congressman Dan Maffei from New York, has introduced that I've co-sponsored that would restore the military pension COLA cut. It was a 1% cut for military pensions up to age 62. It would restore that $6 billion cut over 10 years by simply requiring that companies, corporations that are operated and managed here, controlled and managed here in the United States, but choose to offshore their corporate headquarters in order to avoid taxes, that those corporations simply have to pay the same corporate income taxes that real American companies pay. That would generate $6.6 billion.
That's a heavy lift, Congressman.
It's a heavy lift, but here's the thing. I agree, but here's the thing. We've got to put the Republicans in a position where they show who they stand with. We know they stand with their corporate interests. Yeah. I find it really interesting that Congressman Issa's approach is to tell working people, middle-class people, military pension retirees, recipients, that the only way we can get their benefits back is to cut the jobs and cut the support to other middle-income people. Look at this Postal Service deficit is a manufactured deficit. It's a false creation of the Bush White House, and it's really disingenuous that they continue to point to that sort of failure of the Postal Service.
It is, and they will take any opportunity they possibly can to get rid of the Postal Service. It's just going to be one day at a time. And to cut back Saturday delivery to take care of military retirees, I think is absolutely outrageous. But here it is, Issa again concocting these plans. Here's Issa again concocting up all of these plans to go after American workers.
Right. This would cost, first of all, a third of the new postal carriers in our cities are veterans, which I think is ironic. 80,000 of them would lose their jobs under Mr. Issa's plan. But the fact is they created this crisis by requiring the Postal Service to pre-fund 75 years worth of retiree benefits in a 10-year period. No public or private organization's ever been asked to do that. But because they did that,
Issa never gets called on that.
No, he doesn't.
Never gets called on that.
The Postal Service.
I know that there's. Go ahead.
I was going to say the Postal Service would have made a profit in 2013 if it had not been for that ridiculous requirement.
Yeah,
so
well, he doesn't say that, and you're exactly right on that. There's no question about it. This is a government intervention. This is a government takeover. They have strapped the Postal Service, but even when they can't shut it down, they use other issues to go right back after it. They're all about privatization across the board. And I guess the question is, when are the Democrats? When are they going to go on offense and make demands the same way the Republicans do like this?
You know, Ed, I think I agree with you. This has been a frustrating first year for me in Congress, and there just is a time when we have to stand and fight. You know, we try to be the good guys so often that we are sometimes in a position where we're doing that to our own detriment. We've got to be able to fight. And when it comes to the middle class, we're supposed to support and represent those folks. We ought not let them try to leverage the pension obligation that we have to our retirees in order to cut the Postal Service. I mean, this is really getting out of hand. It's beyond the pale, and we need to say no more.
And Congressman Kildee, I want to go back to the opening segment on this program tonight. We got some breaking news that the Republicans do not have it on their agenda to do anything about unemployment insurance, that's not where they're going in January. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's a shame. And it's I wish I could say I was surprised, because they did say toward the end of the year, oh yeah, we'll bring that up, after the first of the year. They didn't say when. But it's a shame. I mean, this is a Republican conference that, that has shown itself to not have any real concern over the working people in this country. They're shills for corporations. It doesn't seem as though they do.
Understand where the unemployed are. Congressman Dan Kildee, great to have you with us tonight. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.